Hello and welcome to a new video on my whole recreated YouTube channel. I'm redoing the whole thing. I'm going to start a new series. I'm going to start uploading more regularly rather than sporadic like it was before, where I'd have a whole bunch together, then a huge long space, then a little bit more, a huge long space, and then just eventually none. But this first video will be 5 misconceptions about farming, which you can probably tell by the title I will put, which title would be on that side, I think, on YouTube. Yeah. Then I'd put up over there. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. The first misconception about farming is that GMOs will harm you. While this is very popular and widely believed due to, I don't know who started this in the beginning, but GMOs are genetically modified organisms will not harm you. I mean, for instance, the whole BT corn with the toxin in it to kill bugs that everybody's been hearing about. The toxin in the plant is not meant, it's not meant to kill humans. It's meant to kill bugs that are much more tiny, like that big tiny, versus this. And from what I've learned, it's not in the seed, it's in the leaves, and it's in the roots. And for more information about whether GMOs will harm you or not, there is a link that I'll put over here. And it is from it's on the website of the magazine Forbes, which I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Just to say, in this whole entire series, on every single video I do, I guarantee I'm going to mispronounce at least one thing. So, I mean, that's just the way I am. I butcher a lot of names. But basically what the whole article is about is, since we've started using GMOs, there's been an estimated 3 trillion meals, and there's not been one single reported fatality due to GMOs. I mean, 3 billion and still we haven't found one. Those are pretty good odds in that case. I think you have a better chance of winning the lottery than you do dying from eating GMOs. So, yeah. On to the next one. The next one is organic food is healthy for the environment, which, while it sounds wonderful, it's not true. Locally grown food, which is shipped from a short distance away, which, I mean, I think you'd be able to find at a Walmart. I don't know, because we don't have Walmarts here, because I live in Kansas. Nearest Walmart's like 5 hours away. But yeah. And organic food, while it doesn't use the chemicals locally grown food tends to, most organic farms are down in the Central America region, where, I mean, me living in the United States, all the organic food is shipped up here on planes or trucks or such like that, which use gas to power, which causes pollution, that pollution is actually worse than the chemicals in regular farming, because the chemicals we've been taught to use them responsibly without hurting the environment. While every now and then, I will admit, there is somebody who uses them stupidly, who doesn't listen to anybody, but that person's like 1 in 1,000. And then number 3 is that farmers are rich, which in a way we are, and in a way we aren't. So this is going to be really, really complicated. But people tend to think that farmers are rich due to the fact that they see the big, like $500,000 machinery going down the road. And in some sense, like I said, yeah, we are rich due to us owning that, but all those we've bought off loans. We don't have just straight cash to go and give to the dealer and say, here's $500,000. I want the tractor. And I mean, 90% of the year we live off loans. The only time that we don't is during harvest and probably about 2 months after. So, I mean, and when people see that I have a computer, a webcam to record this on, and a GoPro camera that I record a few videos on, people think, oh, my family's fairly well off. I mean, yeah, we aren't hungry, we aren't poor, but we aren't rich either. I mean, I can't just go around spending like, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that. No, I can't. I gotta be responsible with my money. All the things I use in this, the webcam, the computer, the GoPro, the recording software, which came with the webcam, thank God, I bought with my own money. Because along with school, I have 3 jobs. That's quite a bit of work. Not a lot of 15-year-olds do that. Because most don't have the opportunity to. But before I get off topic, I'm going to move on to the next one. Next one is ethanol takes away from crops you eat, which, I mean, kind of it does, but kind of it doesn't. It's kind of like the last one where it sort of does, but sort of doesn't. I hate complicated ones. I really do. Okay, getting into it. There are 2 types of corn. There's sweet corn and there's field corn. Sweet corn is what you eat. Field corn is what is used in ethanol. Those are the differences. Not to mention sweet corn tastes a whole heck of a lot better. You don't want to go eat field corn. Trust me. It's like eating poop. But I mean, the corn you eat is not what is used in ethanol, and what is used in ethanol is not the corn you eat. You can eat it, but I don't recommend it. Now, the other argument on this is that field corn takes away from acres you can use to plant food crops, which is very understandable, but you can't keep planting. I mean, there are 2 food crops we could really plant here. Soybeans used in tofu and other soy products, and wheat. You can't just go soybeans, wheat, soybeans, wheat, soybeans, wheat. It isn't healthy for the soil like that. You can't go wheat, 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 year after year. It is not good for the soil. It is not a recommended practice, and it's just plain stupid. I mean, I'm just going to go flat out and say it's just plain stupid. There's a reason people in the South now don't continually plant cotton year after year after year. They've split up with peanuts, because cotton year after year after year, like they used to do, is not good. It's not good. Not good. And, I mean, in a way, having ethanol, it lowers gas prices, which is always good. It's just lovely. It makes us have, in a way, it makes us have more grain and better quality. Because different crops use different amounts of nutrients in the soil and let other nutrients rebuild, which, I mean, it makes sense like that. And then on the last one, thank God, modern farming does not hurt the environment. Okay, I'm just gonna flat out say it doesn't. Well, in a way it kind of does, but it's in a good. My definition of hurting the environment is when I go and do something like use pollution that is not necessary. That's my definition of it. You may have a different one, so in a way, modern farming does hurt the environment for you. It's all about definition. But the pollution we put out, which I think all of it, unless you are a stupid person who misuses chemicals that were given to you by major companies, unless you do that, all of your pollution is in diesel fumes, which we're trying to be as efficient as possible in that, because diesel is expensive. Very. I mean, I'm not talking like... there are two types of... While we're on this, there are two types of diesel. Road diesel, which is used in semis and other diesel, like your diesel truck, if you have one. Generally, that's what you use in it, and it's undyed. There's a second one that is dyed, which is used in combines and stuff, and the reason it's dyed is because there's not a tax on it. So when you put this in your tank, the dye stays in there permanently. So cops can go and check your tank, and if they even see a trace of the dye in there, you're busted for it. The more you know. But back to this. The diesel fumes, we're trying to be as efficient as possible with it, because, like I said, diesel is expensive. We use a lot of it, yes, but it's for a good cause. I mean, would you rather have fumes for me just driving to an office job that all it does for you is make you iPads? Or would you rather have me use diesel fumes, give off diesel fumes in a way that gives you food, which is much, much more important? You can live without iPads. Trust me, you can. But you cannot live without food. It's impossible. You may be able to go, I think the record is like 3 weeks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but on that, but yeah. But, I mean, and with that, people hate modern farming because we're tearing up ground, which isn't used for anything else. And this includes the GMO thing. People don't want us to use GMOs, which allow us to have better crops that yield more, and they don't want us to have more land, but yet they want more food. So we can't make more off of what we're using, off of what we have, and we can't get more land to make more food. You tell me how that makes sense. How we need to make more, but we can't use better technology or more land. It doesn't make sense at all. It just plain doesn't. And, I mean, what else? For me, I live out on the Great Plains. What else would the Great Plains be doing that? If you have an idea on that, post down in the comments. I want to hear, what else would the Great Plains be used for? Just tell me. Please. But, I mean, with modern farming, it has allowed one farmer to feed, I think now it's like over 100 people. That's more than the population of my town that I live in. So me alone, I could single-handedly feed my entire town and a few more people. That is amazing. But people, for some reason, just don't like it. They just don't like it. They don't like more food. I don't understand how. I love food. Food is delicious. I mean, but one of the greatest I'm going to end this with a quote. So before I say the quote, please, I think like is over here. And if you want to, I'm not going to ask you to, but the subscribe button's over here. But please comment on whatever questions you have down below, and I will read them. I will answer them. If they're good enough, I may make a video on them. So I'm going to end this with the quote, and the quote is, behind every innovation, whether it be a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, an iPod, so many eyes, or a light bulb, even just a light bulb, which we don't think anything of today, behind every one of those innovations, there's a farmer feeding that person. And as always, thanks for watching.